Play sleep and eat with the devil, and he will set your world on fire. Careful what we let into our country, people. It ain't Islam. It's Zionism.
Things are really starting to heat up in Argentina. This local video is going viral of a lady saying that Argentina is being sold off to the Israelis. Israelis are crawling all over Argentina, and it's garnering a lot of traction online. Take a listen to this.
Voy a hablar de la angustia que teníamos, nosotros vivimos acá. Este lugar para nosotros es el paraíso. Nos quemaron el paraíso, loco. Nos dejaron, arruinaron todo. Y acá lo que pasa es que están queriendo venderle la Patagonia a todos los judíos, loco. Esto se sabe un montón. Acá todo el mundo lo sabe. Está lleno de israelitas, está todo el mundo comprando la tierra. Nadie hace nada y la única gente que pone el pecho es la gente que perdió todo. Acá nos dejaron solos.
So, I mean, first off, I always have to show my disclaimer here before I start a video because I always get them reported. What's going on, and I'm going to actually show you another video, is Javier Milei, Argentina's president. He put 2 executive orders forward, one of them very, very recently, that are pretty shocking. And now people are starting to wonder, okay, are there Israelis starting fires in Argentina to purchase the land at cheap prices? I made a video on this yesterday, but 2 of the laws, one of them is there used to be a prior law where if there was land that was burnt or set on fire, you couldn't purchase that land. Nobody could purchase that land for 15 to 30 years. This was done to stop intentional fires and then quickly buying up the land. Okay? That law was shut down. Javier Milei repealed that law. There was another law that made it that basically allowed for only 15% of Argentina's rural land to be sold to foreigners. That law was also reversed. Not only was it reversed, but now he completely removed the limit on how much land of Argentina, of Patagonia, could be sold off to foreigners. And Israelis are buying the land in droves. Now, I already showed you guys a video yesterday of an individual who saw an Israeli tourist starting fires in Argentina.
Una hora te vas de ahí.
Calling them out.
Una hora te vas de ahí. Sí, dale.
So, you know, I already showed you guys this video. If you want to see it again, you can watch my last video. He did a follow-up video saying, yes, confirming that they were Israeli tourists. Now I'm going to show you another video of those laws that I mentioned that they went ahead and changed just recently. Here's an 18-second clip.
En cuanto a tierras rurales, se libera la compra por parte de privados extranjeros. También se elimina la prohibición de cambiar la actividad productiva del campo por 30 a 60 años tras un incendio, una ley del diputado Máximo Kirchner que atenta directamente contra la producción.
So, why in the hell, this is not a left versus right thing. Explain to me, why in the hell would you eliminate the sale of, they say, farmland? Of course, that includes all of Patagonia's beautiful land. Why would you eliminate the sale of land after a fire? Why would you repeal that law unless you're forward thinking about the idea that there may be fires starting and you may want to sell off that land? And then why would that law be removed? Why would the law of foreigners that are allowed to purchase land also be removed? How much they can purchase, all within the same breath, literally stating it one after another, as if there was a calculated thinking as to why they should be removed together. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, it seems like there was a calculated thinking there. And Israelis are now, or sorry, Argentines are coming forward saying, you know, we see the land is being sold off to Israelis. They're purchasing it in droves. They're going about, Argentina is being set on fire. There was another video that was circulating of a man saying, you know, everybody knows that this land is being sold off for business interests. It's being sold off for real estate. They're setting it on fire intentionally. Let me go ahead and share my screen again so you guys can see this video. I also have it in captions here because it's in Spanish.
Lo tenemos recontra en claro que hay poderes que están del lado, tienen un interés inmobiliario, tienen interés minero, y es algo que ya últimamente lo hacen en nuestra cara y ni siquiera lo disimulan. No tienen nada, o sea, no lo disimulan porque tienen todo de su lado.
They don't hide it at all because they have everything on their side. They have all the power, they have everything on their side. It's okay that Argentina is literally being set on fire, one of the most beautiful places on earth. So what? So Israelis can purchase the land at cheap prices? Now, I do want to say, and I always have to preface, that they have not confirmed that the Israeli tourist set it on fire. That's what Javier Milei is stating, because after this video was circulating of an Israeli tourist setting land in Argentina on fire, Javier Milei, who's also a staunch Zionist, like he's converting to Judaism, staunch Zionist, is covering up for them and saying that the people that have accused Israeli tourists of setting Argentina on fire are the dark side of Argentina, is what he said. Because what, they're taking a video of Israelis setting it on fire, but you can't say that. You can't say that. Not until, of course, they're brought in and everything's confirmed. And I'm all for validation, but if you have multiple people telling you objectively what they're seeing, you have locals that live there that are saying this is what we see, and then you have the president saying that's anti-Semitic, you can't say that. And again, I don't support hate towards any group of people, but we have to also listen to what these locals are going through. Are we going to shut down their subjective experience because we don't want to offend anybody? They're going around saying our land is being sold off to Israelis. For those who don't know, Argentina could have been Israel. The Zionists, back in 1897, when Theodor Herzl wrote the book A Jewish State, they were planning out what could be Israel. They were like, should we do Palestine? Should we do Argentina? Should we do Uganda? And I believe Madagascar. And of course they settled on, let's colonize Palestine. They were considering settling Argentina. There was already Jewish settlers coming to Argentina. So it was very much so a thought. Of course it didn't end up happening, and Palestine ended up being what they chose to settle, but it's still a thought. There's a huge population there of dual citizens to Israel. Israeli tourists use it, are constantly coming, and now they're setting it on fire. In Thailand, I also showed a previous video of there's signs all over Thailand that says, no Israeli tourists allowed, because of the fact that Israeli tourists are rude and they're upsetting the local shops and everything else. So it seems like kind of where they're going, they're really upsetting the locals there. But we can't talk about that. Even though the Argentine people are truly just having their land just taken up from under their feet, they're having their homes set on fire, and the president is willingly just doing it. He's willingly giving away his country. And you have to wonder that if somebody is so dedicated to Zionism, which is a political ideology, is converting to Judaism as we speak, he might already have. You have to start to wonder, okay, well, if he's so dedicated to Zionism, could that be not only a conflict of interest, but could it be so much more that he starts to see Argentina as no longer something he's defending, but as a means to benefiting what he truly believes in, which is Israel? Could he be using Argentina as a tool to just benefit the interests of Israel? You really have to start to question that. This is why this entire idea of, dual citizenship, dual loyalty, you have to start to question, if you're a president, you should not be that obsessed with a foreign country. It's not good for the people. You shouldn't be that obsessed with another country when you're president of Argentina or president of the United States. You shouldn't be that obsessed, that willing to sell your people, sell your land to that country. I'm making another video, actually, a whole separate video on what's going on in Argentina, because guess what? They're purchasing the water as well. Israeli companies are purchasing the water rights all across Argentina, all across Patagonia. Tell you from experience with having family in the occupied West Bank, it's not good when Israelis own your water supply. They're also doing that in droves.
Pause that for a sec. Why? Because, doesn't that sound familiar to you? All our energy infrastructure, our water infrastructure, the Murray-Darling Basin, Port of Darwin. Now, the Port of Darwin's owned by China. China's a territory, not a state. China. Northern Territory, it's a territory, not a state. Same as Canberra. It's a territory, not a state. It's a foreign land. It's a territory. It's territorial. Get it? Anything that's territorial doesn't like anything in it. You can't go into an area occupied by a territorial creature. a territory, which means it belongs to something, somebody else. You can't. It's separate from where you are. Okay. Kind of makes you wonder, how much infrastructure does China really own in Australia? And how much of it's actually owned by Israel indirectly through China, or vice versa? Like, I think we might need to follow the ABNs a bit deeper, a bit further. Like Lion, the curds factory, the cheese factories. Lion in here in Burnie, I think pretty sure it's Lion in King Island. Is owned by a British company. Supposedly it's a Chinese company registered in Britain. Or is it? We might be being duped here, people. What colour are all these companies on their letterheads? Light blue and white. Do you think Aurora might be Israel? Because you would think if it was China, it'd be red, wouldn't you? Just saying.
It's such an interesting thing for them to want to go into. The water supply as well. And I'm going to explain in the upcoming video later today exactly why they're doing that. You know, you as Argentines can go ahead and completely hide what's going on. I know a lot aren't. A lot are speaking out. Of course, others don't want to speak out because they're afraid of being called anti-Semitic. And again, I don't support hate towards any group of people, but you can't. But in cases where we're just talking about what's happening with land acquisition and fires, that has nothing to do with that. So we'll see how things unfold moving forward. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, if you like my videos, I'd appreciate it if you click the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up as well. It helps me reach more people like you.
What's happening?
At the door.
Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? I've got to free up some storage space. God, this computer doesn't have much storage space. It's fuck all of it. Well, if you get an external hard drive or something. You get someone to teach me how to do all that. Or just get someone else to do it. I don't really want to know. I can weld, I can grind, I can hammer, I can spin spanners, and I can grow food, and I can drive like a madman. I don't particularly want to know how to do digital shit. Doesn't interest me. Why? People like me are going to be hard to find when you need us.